Hey, you're tuned in to Tech Talk with VLink, an award-winning podcast brought to you by VLink Inc. In each episode, host Tracy Gardner sits down and talks trending tech with global business and tech executives.
Welcome back to Tech Talk with VLink, the podcast where we dive deep into the journeys of leaders shaping the future of tech, innovation, and culture. I'm your host, Tracy Gardner, the Global Marketing Director at VLink Inc. And today I'm thrilled to introduce a powerhouse guest who's at the intersection of technology, design, and leadership. Emily Gupton is Chief Technology Officer at SKG in Austin, Texas, where she is responsible for managing the company's hardware, software, cybersecurity, AI implementation, and more, believe it or not. Before working at SKG, Emily was Chief Operations Officer at a sister company where she helped build and launch a SaaS platform called FOLIO. Emily is heavily involved in the tech community in Austin, Texas, where she serves on the board as president-elect of Austin Women in Tech and events co-chair of the Austin AI Alliance. Emily, we're so glad to have you here.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for
Yeah,
having me.
great. You're welcome. Well, let's start talking about SKG. It's more than just a furniture dealership. Probably many people have not heard of it. It's a movement in workplace transformation. Can you walk us through how SKG got started and what makes your company so unique in Central Texas?
Sure. So, company got started long before I started here. So, we've been in business for 30 years now and local to Austin and a lot of Texas. And really, we've been female founded and we're female owned, female led, and really proud of what we do for our customers and helping them create spaces that their employees and customers want to be in, right? So
Yeah.
we serve any commercial space, whether it's corporate, higher education, government, healthcare, think hospitals, clinics. We do it all and help make your space feel welcoming and exude your culture. So it is more than just furniture.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned woman owned, and that I think that's so awesome. Being a woman myself, a woman-owned dealership, if you're kind in the region, you're the only one in the region. What has that journey kind of looked like in an industry that hasn't traditionally been led by women, the furniture industry?
Yeah, our my CEO Beth is just a powerhouse and we're very passionate about the same things with equity and females and leadership. And so that's really been a wonderful journey. It's something that, we're proud of in the market, and we have customers that, align with those goals. And so that's been a really great journey here in Austin. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And it's so thrilling for me to talk to a woman in tech because Emily, as you know, there aren't that many of us, right? And I know you wear multiple hats. You're COO and CTO. What's the story behind that evolution and how did you first get into tech? What brought you to where you are today? I know that's a lot of questions at once, but
Yeah.
um,
So my journey is very nonlinear. If you had asked me when I was 20 if I'd be CTO in tech, I would have said, really? No, definitely not.
you're
Not that at
right.
all.
Me too.
Uh, yeah. I find a lot of people have nonlinear journeys, with the
Yeah.
exception of a few. And I started my career in outpatient radiology in the healthcare industry and moved cities. So geographically, I was like, let me find something else. We're moving to Houston. I went from Dallas to Houston and
Wow.
met somebody who said, hey, you should move into the commercial furniture industry and do project management because those are transferable skills. And you're good at project management and other things in your life. And I was like, sure, why not? Let me try that while I'm finding something else in healthcare.
Right.
And I just got like sucked in and had to learn a whole new industry and process. And what I actually found moving through Houston and my career there was while getting my MBA, I really gravitated towards technology. And so I ended up taking on these special projects to implement software programs for our employees because I found it interesting and I
Hmm.
love to learn how it worked and tinker and figure out how to make efficiencies for our team. And so I think that's where my love of technology supporting business and supporting customers really stemmed from. And it was a natural evolution. I started doing a lot of data analytics and data mining in our SQL database. And then when I came to Austin, I came here to do special projects, a lot of data stuff, build reporting for SKG before I moved over to the Folio side. And Beth, one day, this was before COVID, she came to me and said, I want to serve our customers digitally. The world is becoming digital. We
Yeah.
need to have a B2C type experience to serve a specific customer segment here in Austin. Like, we got a lot of tech companies, we have a lot of startups. They need a quick, fast process. And so we
Cool.
started on this journey of building technology. And that was something that I had never done before. And I was really excited about it. And so we did. We built a tool for our customers. COVID hit. We ended up sunsetting that and actually going through a whole exercise to start a new company and build a
Hmm.
full-blown SaaS platform that we've sold across the country, to serve the commercial furniture, real estate, and architecture and design service providers and help them intersect with their clients digitally. So that was my foray into tech, and now I manage more of our internal tech. So I went from developer building SaaS, building something outward facing, to helping our team with everything, like you said, hardware, software, all of our access control in our
Yeah.
showrooms, our AV, and I've got a great team that supports that, right? I'm not the expert in all those spaces, but it's been a really, really wonderful journey, and I'm very, very lucky, and I love it.
It's an incredible story, and I love when women take risks because I think sometimes the payoff is big. Like you said, I think that you when you were 20, you asked yourself, would I be in tech? You would have said no, me too. So I love the ability to take risks. That's such a great quality.
Yeah, it was scary the first time. Like, when we
Of course.
moved the first time, going from my healthcare to not, in my brain at first, I was like, I'm gonna keep hunting for my healthcare thing. And then
Right.
I just found it so interesting that, like, oh, I can actually make this massive pivot because I literally had to, right? I was in the middle of doing it. And while that was had moments of, can I actually do this? It was
Yeah.
it was great. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of hard work. Not There is no doubt about that. And a lot of self-education, self-discovery, like figuring it out on the
Yeah,
fly.
of
And
course. Yeah.
it was great.
I
And
love
so
it.
for those of you that are like, can I do it? Can I move into tech? Can I be a tech leader? A hundred
Yeah.
percent you totally can.
100%. Well, I know you mentioned it a couple times. SKG also launched Folio, the SaaS platform you've mentioned you worked on that helped redefine how we think about workplace solutions. Tell us about Folio. What is it? How it came to life? How your role shaped its direction?
Yeah, so a little correction there. SKG and Folio were totally separate.
Oh, okay.
So Folio is a completely separate owned entity, that is not affiliated with SKG. But we were building something to help SKG serve customers, and then we
Gotcha.
realized that, like, we need to do this broadly, right? And it became an entirely different thing. What we
Mm,
envisioned for SKG became very different when we launched and built Folio. But the brainchild behind that, Beth has been in this industry in the furniture industry for a very long time. She's extremely forward thinking. She
yeah.
is passionate about serving the client and the customer and the end user that's going to be like the butt in seat in that commercial space. And these projects that people go through for commercial build outs, no matter the industry that you're in, are highly complex. And business owners want to, like, exude their culture. And there are so many players that happen
Yeah.
in these projects. And so when we were talking about Folio and really doing a lot of discovery, across the country with a firm that we were working with to do a bunch of research, they have the same pain points, right? Part of it is
Hmm.
trust and transparency. Part of it is, I need to understand how much I'm going to spend before I really get into this, because there were a lot of gaps
Right.
and the information was slow to get to the customer. And so, what our tool does is help these service providers, so commercial furniture, real estate, architecture, and design, align with their client on budget and aesthetic before they start picking the things that are going to go into the space. Because I'll tell you, I'm sitting
Oh,
in a task chair, and there are
right.
like 500 task chairs at a million different price points that you could get. And so, the one that I'm sitting in, somebody might say, oh, I really love this teal chair that you're sitting in. And I'm like, cool, that
Yeah.
chair's $1,000. But we've got one over
Yeah.
here that's $200. Like, where are you in the budget land? And so we help them do that. And so our SaaS is really different in that we're really helping on that front end alignment to then set the
Yeah.
customer and the dealer or whoever's working with them up for success to be like, here's how much all these things are going to cost in your space. Let's talk about where we need to pivot, and then let's go pick the products. So it was
Yeah.
really helping customers gain knowledge and feel comfortable with the next steps in the process and something that's highly complex and has a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, awesome. Well, yeah, I know you're deeply involved in the Austin Women in Technology. We mentioned that in the bio up at the top. For our listeners who might not know, what is AWT and why is it such an important space for women in the industry?
Yeah, so Austin Women in Technology, we've been around for, gosh, I think 25 years. It's been a hot minute, and Austin has changed a lot over that time period, especially for women here in the space. But for us, our core values are connect, grow, learn, and lead. And so we are an organization. We do a monthly event, sometimes more than that. And
Mm,
our main goal is to help women find mentorship, find friends, find the person that's doing the job that maybe they're trying to transition into, and really support them on their career journey through networking, meeting people, and finding the network to support them. And then we do a lot of partnering with organizations, other organizations in the community, like the AI Alliance, who I do event planning support for them. Austin Forum on Technology and Society, I could name, 10 off the bat that
yeah.
we really are connected to. And we're all very passionate about not reinventing the wheel. So Austin's really unique in
Mm,
that there's a lot to offer and there are a lot of organizations. How do we come together to support the community to help it be flourishing and budding and continue to grow and be really, really special? But AWT, come find a mentor, find a friend, find the person that's going to support you on your move into the tech industry, your next move up the career ladder. That is what we're really passionate about, and
awesome.
supporting women on their journey.
Yeah, that's important. What do you think the biggest challenges are, Emily, and opportunities you see right now for women in leadership, especially in tech and the C-suite roles like yourself?
Yeah, I think challenges continue to be, you know, getting women in those roles
Mhm.
to allow the younger generations to see that. Uh, it is very true, and I feel like this is often in literature, but or on the news or whatever it looks like. But it's like if I see her, I know I can be her, and
Right.
and that's really true, right?
It
If you
is.
look around and you don't see women in that space, but you aspire to do that, that could be scary.
Mhm.
So I think that there's great opportunity for companies, for leaders today, for other people throughout your organization to really empower women who are interested in advancing into leadership roles in the tech space. uh, Help them out, right? Ally,
Yeah.
rally around them, give them a path to that position because that is also a challenge, right?
Yeah.
Giving them the mentorship internally or helping them discover that externally to get them to move into those roles that are available within organizations to move up the career ladder,
Mm.
and then promote that and hire equitably.
Yeah, because, people like you and I, we came from those non-traditional tech backgrounds. We're both,
Yeah.
look at us both sitting here having a conversation about technology. I mean, it's great. So, I really just love your story, Emily. I think it really bridges between legacy and innovation. It's just inspiring to know that you're creating space, both literally and figuratively, for people to thrive. Any last thoughts you want to leave people?
Oh gosh.
It's
You
a big
know,
question.
Yeah, I think for the women who are listening out there that are questioning, can I do this next pivot? Can I do this next thing? I'm not sure. Can I make this really big life change? You totally can. It takes gumption, learning something new, curiosity, setting building your community around you, but you can totally do it. So, have faith and take that next leap and go
And
crush
take
it.
take the risk, you bet. Well, Emily, thank you so much for joining us today. Your work is a powerful reminder that the spaces we create, SKG creates, in business and tech and in community truly matter. And
Thanks, Tracy.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Tech Talk with VLink by VLink Inc., headquartered in Connecticut. We'll see you in the next one.